Punts.
F-Troop are the real nutters.
And I'm not going away for some dirty northern punts to spit all over me. If he spits over me, I'll put a fucking pint glass in his head.
Good evening, welcome to another edition of That Millwall Calling. Joining us tonight, the regular live show host is the one and only Stephen. Hello, mate.
Hello, Mickey, you alright?
I'm good, mate. I'm good. It's been an exciting week, and yes, it's been a fantastic week. And before we go on, I suppose some more, we'll do. What am I going to do? I am going to do something first. Where have I? I've got there. This week, as you know, and those of you who are watching might not necessarily know, we're pressing that. We have been shortlisted, picked by judges for the final 12 for the Sports Podcast Awards of the year, pretty much, under the soccer category, because it is a global award. But yeah, little old Millwall podcast, and us seven lads have been nominated for. We are up against BT Sport. We are up against Sky Sports. James Richardson, who's sort of a cult hero from Football Italia. The guy out of Ted Lasso. And a few other podcasts. So we will put the link in the show description once the show goes out. But if you can vote for us, share with your mates, your family, the bloke down the corner shop, anyone else you know, and let's see if the underdog can really do anything. I mean, we're talking Sky Sports and BT's got over 1 million followers on their accounts, so we pretty much do nothing. But to be fair, the award will mean fuck all to them. And it'll actually mean something to us, do you know what I mean?
Or if there's anyone out there that's got a bit of time that can create sort of about 1 million email addresses and can submit. I mean, if you've got the time to do it, we'd very much appreciate it. But
but obviously, allegedly, we have to stick to the rules, and we won't be breaking any rules. So so please don't do it because that's unprofessional and not right. But we're talking it's Sky Sports News here, mate, who's fucked us over so many times. So it'll be nice for a little bit of revenge.
And in case you didn't hear me, definitely one viewer, one vote, no funny business, no nothing. No, but no. As Mickey said, it's pretty.
But if you know your dad's email and your mum's email and all of that, then just don't do it all from the same computer, because in case they IP track it. So But anyway. We are live. You're more than welcome to get involved with the comments. If you want to come on the show, you're more than welcome to. Either with the comments or just drop a comment, go, yeah, fancy live, send us a code, and I'll send you the code. We aren't live on TikTok, on Twitter this week. We are just live across Facebook and YouTube. And I might just put it on the other Facebook account maybe, and do that. So yeah, we do that. There we go. So across 2 bits of Facebook and our YouTube channel, and welcome, Chris Brown. You're a legend. If only that was an honest post. So yeah, thoughts on Swansea's win, and where do you think we will finish in the league? I don't know, Connor. You tell us what your thoughts are on Swansea's win, and where do you think we'll finish in the league? There we go. There's a question for you. Where do you think? First question of the live show. Then, where do you think we will finish in the league? So then, Stephen, we best sort of bring some order to this show. Because it's already going off rail. It's because I haven't done a show for a while and I'm sort of feeling all a bit like, fuck it, let's just play with the rules. We're up against Sky Sports.
You're
excited. We need to be professional. We need to be professional. Yes, we need to be professional. So then, Last couple of games, we've won the games we had to win. We beat Swansea, what was a pretty much a boring game. But, you know, these games you don't have to win pretty, you have to win ugly. And we definitely did win ugly. So what was your thoughts on the Swansea game? Hello, Carl.
I think at this stage of the season, I think the result's everything. You get 3 points. That's really, really all that matters. If you're playing like that in August, when you're trying to set the pace or you're trying to kind of find yourself in the league, you'd probably have cause for concerns because we weren't great. We let Swansea have the ball. We let them make us look like the away team at the Den, which I don't really like. But we earned 3 points. That's all that matters. With obviously, as we're live at the moment, there's all the teams around us. Unless something's changed, all the teams around us are winning.
Would you like me to go through them? Currently, Blackburn Rovers 1, Reading 0, Cardiff City 0, West Bromwich Albion 1, Huddersfield Town 0, Norwich City 1, Hull City 0, Burnley 1, Luton Town 1, Bristol City 0, and Sunderland 1, Sheffield United 1. That's currently still half-time.
And for anybody from the BBC that's watching, that's Mickey's audition for Match of the Day when Gary Lineker gets kicked off.
Yeah, that's it.
But no, listen, I think going back to the question that the guys posed, I personally think we're going to finish. I think we're going to finish 6th. I think we'll make the top 6. It might only be just, but just is enough. And as I say, you have to get wins at this stage of the season. That's all that really matters. So, you know, we weren't at our best on Saturday. We won and kept a clean sheet. We weren't at our best last night, and we found a way to win the game. And I think Rowett hinted in his interview, didn't he? He said the fans, not being there yesterday, the fans didn't really know what to make of it. They wanted to stick with the team, but it was boring. And they did stick with them to a certain extent. And we come back in and as I say, 2 goals. And I'm sure we'll come on to Mr. Boggleshammer a bit later.
Can you see the comments, Stephen?
I can, yeah.
Can you see what Gaz just wrote?
Go on the screen.
Oh, mate, we're going well off piece tonight, mate. Well off piece. Kev, if you want us to do a Just GoFundMe page, mate, for you, we can do that because living in Wigan can't be nice for you, mate. It's all pies and gravy and everything, can it? So, yeah, we could always send you a rescue package, a pie and mash or something, mate, with some proper liquor. So, yeah. Kev says we finish 5th. Ricky says we finish 4th with 77 points. He says playing poor, but who cares? It's all about results. Mervyn Smith.
I think that was in relation to the Match of the Day Gary Lineker comment.
Yeah, I didn't hear it, thank God. But yeah, I think we will finish 6th because then we should be Premiership. Come on, Wall. Yeah. I think Swansea have the best passing and possession stats in the league, but they do nothing with it. Well, yeah, they tried to do a lot with it, but we just beat them. And then they result to dirtiness. So, yeah, we still won. So, yeah. I don't care how it happens, but we're going up. The Prem needs us. I think they do need us, to be honest. By the way, Liverpool's still going out. They're still 0-0. No remarkable comeback yet. Second half has just kicked off. Deeply gutted for them.
I'm not sure about that. I don't know. I'm not sure about that. But, yeah. I think what Chris said there is right. I think Swansea,
Burnley 2-0.
Swansea's passing and their movement is very, very good. But if you don't score, and their goal was really, really lucky. Oh, Reading have just scored versus Blackburn, apparently, as well.
Yeah, it's not on there yet, mate.
But yeah, I think we all know we don't want to be playing like that at home. And unfortunately, sometimes, you're going to get that. But last season, I think we'd have lost a game like yesterday. And I think that was what makes it really important, is the fact that those games that we would have lost last year, we're now winning them.
That's the thing, isn't it? I mean, the games that we weren't winning, we are now. And the game, you know, these games last year, we'd be getting draws, and we're not now. We're getting wins, and I think that's where the difference is with the players now. That we're sort of. They're sort of a team, aren't they? And regardless what your views are on Rowett, he's done a fucking blinding job.
I think as well. Do you know what? I think Zian Fleming has got a lot to do with the fact that the players' confidence and belief. I think people are looking at him going, you know, we've got a real bowler on our hands. Even Bradshaw did an interview with Sky, didn't he? And he was asked about him and how well he's playing and this, that, and the other. I think Fleming's lifted this group, and I think he has lifted this, raised the bar. It's not just him on his own. That he's not Superman, but you know, he has filled Jed's boots. He is now perhaps surpassing what Jed was capable of in a Millwall shirt, and I think all the players around him are benefiting from it.
I think you're probably right. I think there's a lot of truth in that. I think it's I think it's not just him. I think the confidence for Bradders. I think the confidence what Cresswell's got, and I think you can see that camaraderie within is superb, and it's just. You can see the way that Cresswell on the video yesterday was like, you know, that's my goal. That's my goal. So yeah.
I think it's not just the camaraderie with themselves; it's with the fans as well. It's, you know, that there is a sense of togetherness. I know it's easy when you win a game to go round and clap the fans and this, that, and the other. It's harder to do it when you get beat. But after the Norwich game, when they were beat, they still did the same thing. And I think the players appreciate and respect the fans, and the fans are doing all that they can to stick with them, and the players are going and giving it everything. And at the moment, it's good. It's a good time to be a Millwall fan. I don't think
Reading 1-1 now. So's Cardiff.
So that's Blackburn and Norwich.
No, Norwich is still 1-0. So it's just Blackburn. Blackburn is obviously.
Kai's just messaged Huddersfield have scored. That's right. That's Norwich, isn't it? Yep. So look, there's lots of twists and turns, but as I said in the group earlier to you, and obviously I'm sure most of our listeners will agree with this, if we win our games, it don't matter what anyone else does because it's in our hands. Yeah, we might get favours along the way, but you keep winning, don't care what anyone else does.
And I tell you, I agree to you. I mean, I know we're going a bit off piece with this today. So look, what we do is we do it a slightly different way to how we normally do it. Obviously, we say every week, it's an interactive show, and then me and Steve just chat bollocks for most of the time and then sort of bring a few of you in and do it like that. But we're trying to get as many of you in as possible here. There's a question there from Chris Brown, which is a valid question. I'll be interested to see. If we do get to the Prem, how many of our squad could or can live in that league? And I think it's a very good question. Because I don't necessarily think there's many really what possibly could. Fleming, definitely. I think Cresswell would do all right in there. I think Bradders...
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure. Cooper, definitely, I think. Bart, definitely. Long, definitely.
I think Danny McNamara.
Murray Wallace.
Danny
Mack and
Billy Mitchell.
And Billy Mitchell and Sav, definitely. But I don't know about many more. Murray Wallace, if he played like he did last night, every game, 100%, he'll be in there. But I don't know. So let us know in the comments if who you think out of the current squad would potentially get in the team.
I think you might have been a little bit generous there with some of our players. I'm not sure. I think
I have to be.
Yes.
I'm contracted by the club to not piss anyone off, so I have to obviously be nice to a degree. So yeah. Hello, Millwall press team.
Oh God, the show's just this. We're descending.
Listen, we're shortlisted, mate. We've made it. Fuck it. Do you know what I mean? We just have a free reign now. We just play the game. If you're watching on YouTube and you haven't subscribed, why not? Just press the notification bell, and then when we do mad shit like this and we suddenly decide with an hour's notice, you will know that we're coming on. So yeah, get involved.
But I think going back to Fleming would make the Premier League. I think Danny Mack, Billy Mitchell, Cresswell, I think could play in the Premier League. Obviously, if we got promoted, we'd have to try and sign him. That's a different issue. Cooper, I think probably could, but might get found out a little bit with the pace of the Premier League, because I think you're not going to get many teams whip crosses into the box. They're more pass and move. But I'm not sure. I wouldn't want us though. And a question back to the viewers, listeners, and yourself: Would you want us to go down the route of what Nottingham Forest did and go out and buy a load of players, or would you give a chance to our squad? Because personally, I would rather see our boys get a chance. They got us up. You have to bring in a couple. We know that. Otherwise, it would be a little bit silly. But maybe bring in 5 or 6 experienced players to go alongside the squad and say, right, you got us in the league. Give it a go.
Yeah. I wouldn't. Yeah, I wouldn't want to do a Nottingham Forest. Born free, die free. What's wrong with Young? What's wrong with Long, mate? He's been doing all right. Say, look, two of them there. Melvin Finks. Melvin Smith. I know that name. I don't know if that's the person I think it is, but maybe, I don't know. I think Cooper would struggle. Mitchell, Danny Mack, Fleming, Cooper, Croswell, Styles. If last season Murray Wallace was performing, yeah. Apart from that, God knows. Ricky says Fleming, Cresswell, Cooper, Mitchell, Danny McNamara. Do you know, we have only got one Danny in the team, but everyone calls him Danny Mac, don't they, or spells his full name. Yeah. And hats off to you for spelling his full name. So, yeah, you know. Doesn't matter. They get us up, keep them. Add Cresswell, Ballard, Coventry striker, a couple of others. Jobs are good and go up, keep money and run. Nice. Well said, Richard. Gaza. If we did go up, we would have at least a dozen players coming in, breaking our current transfer record. Yeah, I reckon you're probably right there. I would play the same team in the Prem, maybe a better left-back, goalkeeper and a creative midfielder. I thought it was your dad's name, and I was like going, oh, is that? Yeah. Hi, bruv, you're all right. Evening, Darren. Yeah, I do as well. Okay, no worry, David. Or you can listen to it as a podcast in the morning on the way to work. And it will probably make no sense unless you're watching, because it will probably sound like a madness listening back. But hey-ho, it is what it is. We do put it out unedited. I think we are probably the number one Millwall podcast out there. If Colesberg done our show. So, yeah.
Well, I don't see any other Millwall podcast being nominated for an award. So,
well, not a global award. There's some what've been done for just, you know, the normal run of the mill stuff, but there's none been on the global style like we have against American podcasts. Hence why we're in the soccer section. All right, there we go. Need 2 strikers and a couple of good wingers. Name some players, right? Let's play devil's advocate. Let's have a bit of fun. We've won. We won the playoff game. We're in the Prem. Transfer window's open. We've got the 100 million for going up into the Prem, and the club's going to reinvest £35 million in players. I think that's probably 40 million. Say 40 million. into players, who are you going to sign and why?
For me, the players I'd be looking at, I'd look to try and see if we can nick Nathan Teller, because I know he's at Burnley, but he's only on loan. He's from Southampton. They look like they're going down. I would look at Josh Bowler from Blackpool. I think he might be at Forest, but again, if they go down, he's someone we could look at. Got to sign Cresswell. The guy, I don't know who it was earlier who mentioned Dan Ballard. I'd look at Dan Ballard again. Ballard, Cresswell, Bowler, Nathan Teller. Look, the obvious ones is things like people would say Guy Carrez at Coventry. Realistically, we're not going to spend £20 million on one player. We're not going to do that, and that's what they're going to want. I would, the creative midfield is an interesting one. I think that would be a loan. I think the club would probably look to loan a couple of players from your Spurs or Chelsea, but I'd be looking at players that have affected top, like in the Championship, really good players. Similar to what we did with League One, we took some good League One players when we first moved up to the Championship, and there's no reason why, if you go up again, you can't take the better ones from the clubs that are still in the Championship.
Yeah, no, I think the summer transfer window will be hard because I think clubs will go up, will look to strengthen their teams, and they'll look at the teams what's been causing them trouble this year and start picking players from around there. We done that one. We definitely need a couple of keepers, at least another forward. Sheffield United now winning 2-1.
That will knock Sunderland out of it, in my opinion. The gap will be too big.
So, yeah, I think so too. I think that puts it to about 8 points in.
Yeah.
Just invest in proven Championship players for not too much, so that we can take the parachute money and know we'll be able to bounce back up if we go down. Then take more money. It's a good idea.
He is quality. That Gus Hamer, that's a great shout.
MFC 1885, you know the fella, do you? He's quality. Oh, you're talking about the player. Okay.
No.
Yeah.
That Hamer at Coventry, he is a real baller. He's really, really good. But again, they're players that other clubs would look at, like if Burnley go up or Sheffield United, Middlesbrough, whoever, they'll all be looking in the Championship for the Championship best players. Just like, there'll be teams, maybe even if we do go up or don't, they'll be looking at Fleming because he's one of the better players in the league.
I don't think you can have Fleming for less than, I think 15, 20 million at least. Depends if he scored, wouldn't it be sod's law that this season we end up having two players who score 20 goals when we've been crying out for them for how long? How many goals have we scored this season? Do we know? Let's have a look.
I looked at it the other day. Is it about 47, 48?
48 and 39 against, which ain't a great record when you're looking at Burnley scored 73.
Yeah, but they're on a league of their own. They're in a league of their own.
Yeah.
Blackburn 2-1 up. Apparently.
Yeah.
As long as some of the teams around us can drop some points, at this stage of the season, any little helps. And David there, knowing Millwall, we will sell Fleming for $2.5 million. I think the club a position than what we previously were. I think.
What happened there? Your voice just suddenly become really clear.
Oh.
It suddenly become loud and clear. I don't know what it was. It was suddenly studio quality audio from you. Don't know why. So yeah, go on.
I think the club are in a better position now than I know. We all know what Millwall are like, and they don't get things right all the time. But I think the structure behind the scenes, Fleming's not going for anywhere. Like there's not going for peanuts. They're not having the Steve Morrison situation again, or Tim Cahill. He'll go for big money. They won't make that mistake again.
Maybe. There's a question in here which is a good one. There we go. From Darren Swan, long time listener, started with us in the lockdown with Friday Night Live. If we got the Prem and West Brom didn't, would you go to re-sign Jed?
No.
That's a good question, though.
It is a good question, but no. I would have, but after him acting like a bit of a prat really at the Den, didn't he? With his celebrating in front of us. I don't.
You can say cunt if you want.
I just don't. I don't think. Move on. We look. I don't like that people still tweet Jed Wallace about us because West Brom are right up there still. We got to go there in a few weeks' time. They could make the playoffs, and it could come back to sort of bite us a little bit. Move on. We've got better. We've found a new star player, and he's better. So
yeah,
let him try and chase his dream at West Brom. And if they do it, good luck to him. But I'm not saying we will, but I don't think West Brom are going up this year. So
no, I don't think they are. I don't think they are either. I mean, there's one from Ricky as well, which you sort of answered. Would you sign Ballard if we were to go? I would definitely have a look at him, probably.
Yeah,
but then again, I mean, because people were posting earlier on Twitter, weren't they? You know, I'll get Cresswell and Ballard in, but they're both left-footed, didn't they?
No, both right-footed.
Right-footed, even.
Yeah,
left-footed. Yes, sorry, I'm left-footed, and so's Dave Martin. So yeah,
No, that last comment. No. Fleming is going on to bigger and better things.
And that there, I mean, imagine having Jed and we'd be top two, maybe. I agree about Wallace. How do you feel about Vloggy?
Where's Joe?
Yeah, I probably refuse to answer that because of the benefit of Joe not being here, and obviously Joe on the way to losing his bet. Remember, he only needs to score 5 goals by the end of the season, and he owes Stephen £50.
It's going to charity, like what I did for him when I lost that bet. It will go to charity, but I'm keeping count, and maybe we'll have a little care package for Joe with a German flag and perhaps a German shirt with Vogel Sammer on the back of it.
Mate, we'll just go out and hire the old Lumper band or whatever they're called. Do you know what I mean? That's what we need to do. So yeah. Right, hang on, crikey, this is getting active tonight. Chris, no to Jed coming back, and we should not sell Fleming for any amount. Maybe season after for maybe 10 million. Yeah, I think you probably got a good point there. If we don't go up and West Brom offered 10 million and Jed for Fleming, would you take it? No, because Jed's not worth anything really. Reading down to 10 men. Blackpool pretty much have it in the bag now. Thanks very much, Gary Lineker. How much will paying Prem wages affect our buying power? That's a good question. We'll come back to that in a minute. Pay for him. Was it pay for him after he fucked off for nothing? I think not. If you was Millwall, how much would you take for Fleming? Nothing less than probably 20 million, if I'm honest, because I think there's a sell on there from his previous club. So yeah, nothing less than 20 million.
Apparently it come out in the week though that there's no release clause or anything and stuff like that. So it would be interesting with Fleming. Very interesting. Come out in the week. But there was a story in the week. It went up somewhere that it was on one of the articles. I read it somewhere that there's no clauses in Fleming's contract. Apparently, I mean, I don't know how true it is, but if back to the question, what I would take for Fleming, if you get anything over, I think 15 to 18 million. If you get over that kind of figure, I think the club would seriously have to look at it. The return on investment and what that would do for us, you couldn't turn it down.
No. I totally agree with you there. I think you're probably you're right to a degree. So yeah, we'll see. Burnley 3-0 up. So I mean, I'll go back to the question what was submitted earlier, which you never answered. Where are we going to finish then, Stephen?
Oh no, I did. I said we're going to finish 6th.
Oh, okay, you think 6th?
Yeah. 6th.
Who do you think we're going to get? Who do you think we're going to get in the playoff then? I reckon Sheffield United will drop out, Middlesbrough will take 2nd place, and we will get Sheffield United at Wembley playoff final. It'd be brilliant to get West Brom.
Oh, I don't know. I wouldn't want it. No, I think.
And Vlog scores the winner.
If Voggy scores the winner that gets us promoted to the Premier League, we'll get that banned. We'll get everything German we can find and just ship it to Joe's house.
Absolutely.
We'll finish 6th. I think.
Obviously, Joe, if you're listening, we wouldn't do that. We're not like that at all, fella. So yeah.
Before tonight, when Sheffield United were losing, I would have said I think they will drop out. The fact that they've turned it around,
yeah,
I think Middlesbrough will finish 3rd, and if we do finish 6th, it'll be them. That'll be tough. That will be tough. But the playoffs, that no team's going to want to come to the Den, and yeah, I think Middlesbrough. I think we'll finish 6th. We'll play Middlesbrough in the playoffs. The other 2 positions, I think, will be Luton and Norwich.
Yeah. I still think Sheffield will probably fuck it. I
hope they do.
Potentially do it. I think pretty much maybe the table will be what it is. I mean, I'm still not convinced. But yeah, my heart says, I'm still thinking potentially we're going to finish 2nd place, but I don't. That's more of a dream from the beginning of the season, but we're hold there. Well, we're 30 minutes in. We've got about 30 minutes left. I'm going to post that. If you do want to come in, the link's been posted. We will bring you straight into the green room, and Russian roulette. There's a reason why we made the short list. If you do want to come on the show, click the button. If not, Ricky. Yeah. That would be
the dream. That is the dream.
Do you know what would be the dream? Is Voggy to score a goal like Gary Alexander's goal and take that title away from Gary Alexander and be the best goal. That would just be our luck, wouldn't it? A German scoring the best goal possible at Millwall.
If that happens, Joe's going to have to go and support Charlton because he's going to get absolutely hammered.
Yeah, as long as we avoid Borough and Norwich over 2 legs, we should be all right. To be fair, I'm not scared of anyone in the playoff. In a playoff final, in the 2 legs, I don't think anyone in that league scares me because we are phenomenal at home. And yeah, the final game versus Blackburn is getting bigger and bigger each week. I think we do it. I think we'll be all right. So, yeah. So then, what do you want to talk about now then?
There was a question posted earlier about the buying power in the Premier League.
Yeah, wages.
Yeah, wages and things like that. Yeah, okay, you're competing in the Premier League, but if you're signing the top end Championship players, we'll be able to get them, and players from abroad.
Would you want to? Would you want to suddenly go? I mean, so the rumour is that most of our players are on between 10 and 14, 15 grand a week.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You wouldn't really want to sign someone on 45 grand a week, would you?
No, but that's why you go for Championship players, because they won't demand those fees. Or abroad, like Fleming, there's got to be other players that play in the Dutch league or the Belgian league or those kind of that kind of level that would jump at the opportunity to come and play in the Premier League. If we're a Premier League club, players that's what a lot of players aspire to. And they wouldn't be on big money. I mean, Fleming might be on bigger money now, but I bet you he wasn't on that much at Fortuna Sittard. They wouldn't have been paying him that much money. There's players like that.
I still believe that with Fleming's agent, his dad, and his club or his ex-club, I think let him come over here to be put into a shop window.
Yeah.
and I think that was the whole reason for, because I mean, you know, we spoke about it on the last show with me and you did, where with Huddersfield, where obviously the Huddersfield guy was telling us a story about them, and you just think really a player of that capability and that skill he's got. Yeah, I mean, if we can keep hold of him and he loves it here, and the team spirit and everything else is good, and we can keep hold of him for a couple of games, then yeah, fantastic, absolutely. But if we can't, and he does go, then I think he's going to be, you know, he's going to be top drawer. He's going to be top of the game. He's going to be like, I can see once he gets into the Premier League, he's going to be like a Haaland. I mean, that guy is unbelievable. That guy just scores goals for fun.
I'm not. I'd love him to become like Haaland. It'd be great for us if he does. I think Fleming's going to. What will happen to Fleming? For me, he'll go to. If we don't go up, he'll go to a club like a Brentford, a Brighton, Leicester, where he can be a bigger player for them. Really start to, a bit like James Maddison, really start to impact at a club like that, and then the bigger clubs will come up for him next. That's what I think is going to happen with him. I can see it. Yeah. Maybe, look, I'm not saying he's going to get into the Manchester City team. I'd love that to be the case, but who knows? But I reckon he'll go from mid to lower Premier League club to mid to high Premier League club, and I think that's where he'll end up playing his best football.
Yeah, no, probably. And by the way, if you do want to come on, you don't have to come on with your camera. You can just come on with your voice, mate, and have a blanked out screen. It doesn't bother me, but just be reminded though that once we do edit, I can put anything in that box, West Ham badge or Charlton badge or anything. But yeah, no, I won't.
You're trying to encourage people to come on, Mick, not scare them off.
Yeah, no, they won't. They will. They won't. Burnley will probably go in for Fleming, possibly. Possibly.
Yeah, maybe.
We're there. Now that is a great question, and I would probably, if I'm honest, my heart would say 100%. But actually, my head thinks, you know what? Go for the Prem. Do a season in there, because West Ham ain't coming up next season. Do a season up there, and then next season we'll get them, and we'll get them in the FA Cup anyway. So yeah, bear with me. My laptop is just about to die. There we go. Yeah, I think we'll get him next season. So yeah, I'll probably I wouldn't.
No, I don't think you can. No. I don't think you can sacrifice the season and the money for 2 games personally. But
that would be an absolute nightmare for them. Hard to sell properly as well, though.
I tell you one thing that would be even worse than that would be the second leg. If we got them in over 2 legs and the second leg was at Luton, and the repeat of 85. If it doesn't go our way.
Yeah. How much do we get if we win the playoff? £100 million or £120 million, I think, if you get to the Premiership.
Yeah, it's about that.
Another good question. Don't say West Ham. Okay. How much? Well, we fucking writing in riddles now, then, Darren. You know, you've written two replies of good question, another good question. How much? How much for what? How much is a packet of crisps? How much is a packet of beans? I've got no idea what you're on about. Oh, how much maybe we win? It's about £120 million, I think. So
yeah. And then you get all. Does that include the TV rights as well?
Yeah, I think. It depends where you finished, doesn't it? I think then it's paid on where you finish.
Right.
Let's have a look. You talk for a minute, Stephen, and I will have a look.
At this point, anyone that wasn't listening earlier at the beginning of the show, the podcast has been nominated for a global award. The details have been posted in, I think, on the chat, and they'll be posted in the description. It's all over our social media. We're up against a podcast from Sky Sports. We're up against a podcast from BT. So any vote would be very much appreciated. You're going to see us hammer it and talk about it over the next couple of weeks. Voting's open until the 6th of April. So if you can get all your friends or your family to give us a vote, you do have to log in. For anybody listening and that wants to do it, you do have to create an account. All you do, you put your name and your email address in. It takes about 5 minutes from start to finish to give us a vote. And as Mickey said earlier, for the guys that weren't listening, to Sky Sports and BT and people like that, they probably don't really care about this award. It's just another thing for them that they get entered into. But for us, it's quite cool to be nominated. And I think there's a league table for the 12 podcasts as well. I think they put it in order. I saw from last year. So it would be quite cool to be somewhere near the top, or if we can do the impossible and go and win it. But if you can give us a vote, that would be really much appreciated.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Keep taking those brave pills, Darren. Right. Winning the Championship playoff final and earning promotion to the Premier League is understood to be worth hundreds of millions of pounds, although it varies season by season. In 2020, Deloitte suggests that victory in the playoff final could see an increase in revenue between 135 million to 265 million pounds, depending on whether a promotional team can avoid immediate relegation. Official figures for 2021 showed that broadcast revenue totaled more than 2.5 billion, which was distributed amongst the 20 clubs in the Premiership. Of that, each club was guaranteed at least 31.4 million in equal share payments, 47.5 million in international TV, 5.9 million in central commercial payments, and a baseline of roughly 84.8 million per team, regardless of position. As well as that, clubs were given merit payments ranging from 1.7 for last place. For instance, when this was done with Sheffield United, to 34.9 million for winning the Premiership, and facility fees, which depended on the number of television games what you were involved in. So victory in a playoff final could pretty much launch a team into an exclusive money pool Premiership and everything else done. And if you were to come down, you get Premiership payments, which effectively break the fall into the second tier. These payments are a percentage of the equal share of the broadcast revenue, which gradually drops over a period of 3 years from 55% to 45%. And then if the club was in the Premier League for more than one season, to 20% in the third year.
So basically, the thing with promotion, it's not just having a season in the Premier League, and it's not just, going to the grounds for the supporters. It's the long-term future for the club. There's so much money that would be invested into the club that I think you would see us. The club would be financially stable for a long period of time, and I think that's something that we really need. And that would be the biggest thing for me. Yeah, as a supporter, look, I go home and away. I'd love to go to the Etihad and Anfield, and I'm sure all of us would. But if we get the money in and the club's sustainable, then that's what all we really want.
I'm enjoying watching Fleming this season, but a bit like J. Gill's band, I fear my memories will be soiled when West Ham buy him off us.
He hates West Ham. He hates West Ham anyway.
Yeah, he's from Amsterdam. Yeah. Could be Wall up, Ham down, hopefully. Geez, we could buy Messi for that. Yeah, we could, but we won't. We'll take that, Mick, all day. Yeah, okay. It's not how much you get. It's not spunking up. That's absolutely on stupid wages. Mm-hmm. I think it's, if you can manage the money correctly, and you can produce yourself to finish just outside the bottom three of the Premiership, then I think that's where, don't think that a team like Millwall is going to be challenging the top half of the table. Well, I'll be happy being in the Prem, sitting on the bottom half of the table, just above relegation. So yeah, I'll be happy with that.
If we got to the Premier League and we finished 17th, I would take that all day long, and it would mean you stay up there, didn't you? It doesn't matter how you do it. That's all that matters to me.
I think MFC's probably got a point there. Yeah, I reckon the Premierships will say, they stop the payments now. If we could get to the Prem, I think someone will come in and buy us. Yeah.
Possibly, yeah.
Once we hit the big time after our award with you lot voting for us, and we get massively notified, get massively found and spotted by some huge media organisation and makes us rich and buys us, we would reinvest that money into Millwall. 4-point gap with 9 to play, and we have 3 playoff rivals in those games. We've never had or will have a better chance. Absolutely agree. So does he.
Hold up with that. Did West Brom win tonight? Because
no, drew.
They were held as well.
Yeah. So full-time scores are in, most of them. So Blackburn Rovers 2, Reading 1, Cardiff City 1, West Bromwich Albion 1, Huddersfield Town 1, Norwich City 1, Hull City 1, Burnley 3, Luton Town 1, Bristol City 0. And Sheffield United versus Sunderland is a late result, currently 2-1.
Cheers, Jeff.
Thanks, Cammy.
But I was a bit pessimistic earlier when I was messaging the chat, but you see how the difference. We lost to Norwich, and there was doom and gloom. Mickey, I seem to recall that you'd give up a little bit, and that we were going to finish 7th, and all the teams around us were, winning games and this, that, and the other.
They are winning games. We are still there.
2 weeks later, or 2 games later, and we're 4 points ahead of them.
We are, but you listen. We are, but
I'm going to take every opportunity I get to mention that. So
it's all right, and I'll take every fucking opportunity to do that. So hi.
Wow.
So 4 points clear. I look at that. You sound like the results announcer from the 80s. That's the results. Do you remember? And Steve, I don't know how old you are, to be fair.
No, I don't.
When you used to watch CFAX or you used to watch the BBC, and then it used to be right at the end of it, and you had not Dead's line, and I can't think who it used to be, but that's used to be how they do it. You used to know by the tone of their. You used to know by the tone of their voice.
Yeah.
How they done it. Do you know what I mean? It used to be literally it go through all the league, and then it would do the National League and the Conference and the Scottish League and all that, and you used to sit there and be amazed at they've managed to pronounce the names, and it was all clear. So it was always Blackburn Rovers 1, and you knew exactly as soon as they said the first team, you knew whether or not it was going to be a win, a lose, or a draw. And back in the days when the polls man used to knock at your house as well, didn't it? And if you were lucky as well, you used to be able to get involved in the polls with your granddad, or mine he used to do the polls and sit there and do that. I used to do the polls with him in the morning, and then you used to do the polls with him in the week and do that, and then basically that would be picked up and everything else, and then they'd give me 20 pence, and I used to go down the chip shop, and then I'd come back, and then there'd be the wrestling, and then the football would be coming on, and you'd watch it the old live ticker feed and all that, and on CFAX. It was all good. Good times before mobile phones and internet ruined it.
And streaming and trying to find a moody link or whatever.
Yeah. Anyone got a moody link? Yeah. It'd be really good if we got brought by the Qatars.
Oh God. That was a great comment, by the way.
It's a fantastic. That's comment of this episode, I think. Alex S, for those of you listening on podcast, it's a bit like I remember snooker when it used to be black and white telly, and you used to have the commentator go, "He's now going for the red ball next to the brown ball," and you couldn't tell if it was a brown or a blue. It used to be all the red next to the blue, and you'd be like, I still can't tell which one it is. So yeah. Actually, I might as well tell you what it is. Alex says, Mickey, you could take over from the woke crisp salesman on Match of the Day. Thank you very much. We are Millwall and always do things the hard way. Yep. The classified results. Yep. Do you reckon it's a good idea getting rid of the Den for the ground we made plans for pre-COVID? Callum, we didn't make any plans for a ground pre-COVID. That ground is the ground what we're in now. It's just that they're tarting up the outside. There wasn't a new ground. It wasn't being rebuilt because there is no way they're going to give you permission for that. It was basically part of the 106 agreement with the Regen was that Renewal was going to pay to reclad the stadium. And everything else around it will be done up. But yeah, the Den isn't getting rebuilt, and there's no plans ever gone in for the Den at the minute. So all the stuff around it. So yeah, the only thing extra what potentially could happen if we get Premiership will be a bit of modernation work for the press rooms would change, and also the corners will be filled in.
But did they have to do something with VAR as well, didn't they? Because a couple of years ago they didn't have it in the cup. They'd have to do some work with that in the ground as well. But that would obviously come.
Yeah, but we've already got Hawkeye in there. If you look on the west, if you're ever in the West Stand and look up, you'll see that in the middle and on the ends there's some big weird looking cameras, and they're Hawkeye. And Alex, I'm not putting that comment up. Hawkeye is there. What basically is the same as in cricket and all that. One can tell if the ball crossed over a line, but yeah, that's it. So but no, it won't be there. Okay, 10 minutes left. Let's go for your predictions for Saturday's game against Huddersfield.
I think it'll possibly be I reckon it'll be the hardest out of this three this week, on the basis that Neil Warnock is going to come to the Den on Saturday and he's going to play the ref. He's going to get his team to play the ref. They're going to try and waste time. They're going to fall over. They're at the bottom of the league. They're fighting for their lives. They're not going to have. We're going to have more of the ball, and it's going to be what we can do with it to break them down, which isn't something we've really been used to over the last couple of weeks. But 9 points in this week does sound incredible, and I can't see us not winning the game. I really can't. I just can't. I can only see a Millwall win. I think I'd take any kind of win, but I would say 2-0. 2-0, go into the international break, and then you've got 8 cup finals. And also, the big thing about Saturday, and again, I don't know if you know this, Mick, but because it's FA Cup weekend, Blackburn are not playing, Sheffield United are not playing, Burnley are not playing. I don't think West Brom are playing either, because obviously they play one of those. So with West Brom dropping points tonight and them not playing on Saturday, if we can win the game, we'll go into the fixture against them about 7 points clear. And it's a huge incentive.
And they did get a solid point today as well.
They'd be wanting all three though, wouldn't they?
They had 33% possession for tonight's game. 11 shots. How does that work out then? How does that work out? They had 11 shots, Huddersfield, and none on target.
Own goal? Deflection?
Own goal. Yes, own goal. So, yeah, own goal. Norwich had 3 shots on target. Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, we're... and also, Norwich had a player sent off in the 92nd minute as well.
There you go. I think that's another thing that we haven't touched on the pod much, or people don't take much notice to. We don't get many red cards. The players seem to have the discipline with the squad. Even last night, I was a bit worried when Danny got booked up against the winger that was constantly trying to take him on, but at no point did he look like he was ever going to get a second, which just shows again that they're listening to the manager, the discipline's there in the squad.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with that. Yeah, I think the camaraderie, the solidness together with him is phenomenal this season. Absolutely phenomenal this season. Would you drop Bradshaw? He looked knackered last night.
No, I would say to him, give us one more effort. I know he's going off to Wales, which by the way is really really good that Millwall players are getting.
Yeah, massive congratulations,
yeah.
and those Millwall players that do listen to us, can you just pass on the congratulations to Bradshaw for us, please? Thank you very much.
That is a big achievement, and he does deserve it. It is well worth a place. But say to him, look, last game before the international break, yeah, he's going to go off. He might not play for Wales because they prefer Kiefer Moore, don't they? He's in the squad, so he might not get much game time. But give us 70 minutes of your absolute best against Huddersfield. Perhaps get ahead, then take him off, and then bring him back up for West Brom.
Yeah, maybe. So Ricky's going big and bold for a 4-1 win. Bradders and two Cooper. Oh, Bradders with 2, Cooper and Saville. If you think Cooper's going to score in that game, then bung some money on that, mate, because he's always good odds. We've gone 20 league games in a row not being behind at half time. Sold out then as well.
Yeah, that's important.
Bradshaw is hanging. Is there backup in the youth? Possibly, but what's
Duncan Watmore? Duncan Watmore.
Point. Yeah, possibly. Yeah, definitely. But no point mentioning the youth. Gary doesn't really seem to want to play him. A lot of yellows, but appreciate the point. Yeah. I still feel done over by the Honeyman offside against Sunderland. Imagine how less hectic it would have been in this top 6 flight. Yep.
I think personally that the one that gripes me is Luton being 2-0 up at Luton.
Yeah. Wish you would give Watmore more playing time. We'd love to. Oh, wish he. I thought you said wish you. Wish he. Yeah, no, I totally agree. I think he's good. I think he could do with it. So, yeah. We would be higher if we took Burke instead of a Phobie pre-season.
The problem with that, just on that, Richard, is the fact that Rowett come out and said that we basically had a deal agreed for Ollie Burke in the summer. It was all done, and then a team from the Bundesliga come in for him, and absolutely swamped us with wages. So we did want him, and we did all we could, and we offered him what we could afford. And then I think, is it Werder Bremen that we signed him from?
Yeah.
Come in and basically smashed the wages and just said, come and play in the German top flight, and we had no chance. But I agree, better than a Phobie.
I played them in the pre-season the other day on FIFA with Millwall pre-season. Had done them 5-0. So yeah, Burke was getting smashed all over the place. So yeah. Just a quick one, as I mentioned FIFA, and yes, I know I'm too old to play FIFA, but you know it's good when the missus is watching something else. If you have FIFA, have a look at some of the players.
It's a joke. It's a joke.
And do they really? I think we'll have to do a show. We get the images of them, and we'll do a show. Maybe next live we do on YouTube. We get the images and we put them up and see if you can guess what players they are. But they are highly amusing.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think we'll do that next show. We the next live show we do. We'll try and get hold of the photos, and we'll post them and have a look and see if you can name who the players are. So
it's because you know what they do though. They all the Premier League, or not even all, only the top sort of 12 clubs get brought in for like photography and stuff, and the rest they just basically make up and do whatever they want. I tell you what, as well, as I've played every FIFA since 1998, and one of the coolest things if Millwall got promoted to the Premier League would be that the Den would be on the game.
Yes. Why isn't the Den on the game? Is it only Premier
League? Yep. Yeah. But what happens is when a team gets relegated, so for example, Watford, because they've been a Premier League club, their coding's already in the game, so they keep their stadium on there. So if we got promoted, the Den would be on the game.
If you want to get involved with FIFA, by the way, FIFA's been in touch with us, see, because we're big time. They were in touch with us a week or so ago now, and there's an article on our website where they are looking out for. Basically, they want you to be part of the collective, and the Data Collective, and what that is that they will just take facts from you about Millwall. So they'll send you stuff, I think, and get you to fact check, players, to help rate the player numbers and make sure that the data they have on the players are correct, and etc. So if you want to get involved in that, check out the website, which is thatmillwallpodcast.co.uk, and you'll see the FIFA badge with the Millwall badge, and you can basically become part of the Millwall Data Collective team.
I'll be honest with you, if I started to do that, Fleming would be rated 99.
It's a volunteer. It's a volunteer. Listen, they're not going to pay you. It's a volunteer role, but you never know. It's definitely something. If you're into those sort of games, it's definitely something to do. Where are we now? We're here. Only player they rate is Bradshaw, who has 2 Team of the Week cards on that. Okay.
Fleming's got one as well.
Geek level, I actually have 5 1998 on the Sega Mega Drive. Okay. FIFA don't have the rights for the stadium in the Championship to be put onto the game. That's what I thought it was as well. Actually,
you have to be a Premier League club or have been a Premier League club, because Portsmouth's ground's still on the game because they were in the Premier League like 10 years ago. So that would be cool to get the den on the game. But you didn't give us your prediction for Saturday, Mickey.
Oh, I'm going to go 3-0.
There's a dad and his son on YouTube about videos discussing each kind of this video. Could you send out a link to a wider audience? That's TT, isn't it?
That's TT. TT gets more than us. I don't think he needs a link, but TT is great. If you're not following TT, then go out there and follow him. It's called The Drive Home. I think it's called The Millwall Drive Home. I can't look on YouTube because if I do, it'll just bring it up on here. But yeah, it's called The Millwall Drive Home with TT and Zach. But don't put that in, just put The Millwall Drive Home. Check that out. Listen, we've got no issue, mate. If you find a great Millwall content, like last week we were talking about one who does a daily one on there, we posted him. And listen, we are all in the same game together. We're all sitting there trying to provide stuff, what we enjoy doing for you guys. There's nothing about egos. There's probably one channel I probably wouldn't recommend. And everybody knows who that is, but it is what it is. And it's amazing the number of subscribers that he gets weekly. But hey ho, he must be producing great content. But hey, listen, you've got Act on Millwall as a podcast. You've got us. You've got Zach and TT. You've got Millwall Tube. There are various other ones around there. But hey, we are just one of a family of content creators for you guys. We are going to be stepping it up next season with a few other ideas we've got. And yeah, we've only been going 2 years and we're growing quick. And we've been nominated for a global award. We've made the shortlist. And I know, we are excited. And we would love for you all to vote for us and help us beat Sky Sports, BT Sport, and an absolute legend and hero, I suppose. And I got to meet him once, and it's quite weird. I don't know if Nick Hart, if you're listening to a show, mate, please put the clip if you still have it. If not, I've probably got it somewhere. I think I've still got it. But when I was found on the board, just in case you never knew, when I was found on the board, I got lucky enough to be nominated twice, 2 years on the trot for Fan Liaison Officer of the Year. And I went to, when it was at the Tower of London, I went to the awards and I met James Richardson, who's Football Italia. And I got him before I'd done a pod. It was when we were doing all the regen stuff. And I got him to do an announcement of a promo for Nick's show, and Nick's got a promo for his show what I got done at the night with James Richardson from Football Italia, which was an absolute claim to fame. And then the bloke's a legend. I mean, I grew up with him Sunday mornings watching Football Italia. So yeah, thank you very much, Danny.
That
Benjamin
guy is
Bloom's
pretty
good.
He is pretty good. Yeah,
Benjamin Bloom's all right. He's not a bad pianist either.
On the subject of the awards, Mick, and obviously for the listeners
Ben
at
is
home,
a secret. Oh yeah. He's got a little loving for us because Ipswich are shit.
On the subject of the award and stuff, obviously to the guys out there, like me personally, I've been doing this since September. I think I come on after one of the Burnley games. So to be involved in it is pretty cool. And as Mickey said earlier, we do this because we love the club, we enjoy the interaction, and the fact that we've been nominated for an award. We are excited about it, as you probably have seen over our social media channels and stuff. So hopefully you enjoy it. Hopefully you give us a vote. And
you're going to plug your show as well now.
I was coming on to that. I
thought you would be. I thought you would be. Bear with me 1 second.
I've been given creative reign on my own. I think we've got Ricky and Chris in the chat at the moment, and also a few other guys in there. Who are you? The first episode went out on Sunday with Dr. Andrew Fleming. Obviously, I'm really enjoying doing the interviews. It's great catching up with Millwall supporters. So if you are interested in doing the interview, as I say, Ricky and Chris have both done it. Please drop the pod a message or drop me a message, my Twitter handle at SPJ91, and we'll get you on. We'll schedule a time to do the interview with you, and we're going to be putting those out every Sunday. So if you want to talk more Millwall, about 45 minutes of your day or your evening, drop me a message and we'll get you on the show. Also, seeing as I'm still on my own and no Mickey, Alex, how do we vote? We'll send a link. I think it was posted earlier. We'll get the link resent out. You just need to create an account, put your name, your email address in. It takes about 5 minutes. You can only vote for one podcast, so make sure you vote for the right one, that Millwall pod. But I'm sure Mickey and the guys will be sending the link out over the next few weeks. So every vote was very much appreciated.
Yeah, we have already posted it in this link. You do need to be, if you look at the link without logging in as such or registering, it won't show you the vote button. So you do need to go. I've just posted the link again. It's right there. Get voting and do for us. I wanted this to end within an hour because I can't put it through. Yes, fans, it's a global award. If you're outside of England, definitely vote. It's there's loads of American podcasts in there.
If that's in relation to the interview, yes, Christian, we'd be really, really delighted to get on foreign fans. If you are interested in doing it, drop us a message.
Foreign fans? He might be English and just lives in Outer Mongolia.
He's put who are not English.
Oh, okay, who are not English. Yeah, no worries. Yeah.
If it is for the show, drop the pod a message or drop me a message. Absolutely fine, mate.
Right, this Sunday, we have the one and only Stevens episode of Who Are You is going out this Sunday. And then you can find out a bit about him and then come on and listen to, how long Stevens been following it and all that. And then we'll go from there. And yeah, enjoy. It's good. It hits YouTube on a Sunday, and the pod will be going out. The podcast will be going out. Version of it will be going out on Friday. So yeah, enjoy. So this episode will be out tomorrow. Yes, mate. Yep, Romanian, obviously. No problem at all, fella. Not a problem at all. If you watch mine, don't have a big breakfast because you'll probably lose it. Following Millwall for 5 years. Yeah, no, it's not a problem, mate. We can have a chat. It's all good. And then, yeah, Chris, yours will probably be going out the week after. And then it'll be Ben. And then I'll probably do Ricky, actually, after. And then it'll be Ben. And then we just keep going. So, yeah, it's just literally which one I've got round to editing first. So, yeah. That's it from us. All done and dusted for another episode. It's been manic as always, but yeah, hey ho, who cares? We've been shortlisted for a global award with the Sports Podcast group, and we've been nominated for the soccer section, and we are one of 12 in there. And when the other shows are teams like BT Sport, Sky Sports News, and The Athletic and James Richardson, you know we're doing something well. And yeah, hey ho. Thanks for everything. Thanks for listening. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you can follow us across Spotify, Apple, etc., etc., etc. And make sure you follow us across socials. That's it. That's me. I am Mickey Simpson. That guy next to me is Stephen. We've been That Millwall Podcast, doing That Millwall Calling. See you again soon. Bye-bye.
Cheers, guys.